What's up you guys, it's Bart here, and for those of you that don't know, I'll be starting my new job as a real estate agent in London next week. Now, as things stand, I live in Kent, so I'll have to relocate in order to start my new job, so that's exactly what today's video is about. I'll cover three main parts of my renting journey, and those three sections will include searching for a property, rejection, and my final outcome. So providing you've smashed the like button for the YouTube algorithm, let's get right into the video. So by far the most time consuming and grueling part of the whole process was actually searching for the place. Now obviously, as a 17-year-old, I'm not really in a position to rent a whole place to myself, so I had to look for a room instead. Now the obvious platforms in the UK to do that would be Rightmove or Zoopla, but I found that Spare Room was actually the best platform for me. Now obviously this isn't sponsored because of the size of my channel, but I've genuinely found that my experience on Spare Room was actually really good, and there's just so much on here for people my age and anyone else as well. So you can register for free and you can look through rooms, or alternatively you can actually search for people to rent rooms with. So it's really a platform for anybody that's interested, and I'd most definitely recommend it. Now initially I had absolutely no idea as to what area I wanted to rent in or the sort of money I wanted to spend, but after a considerable amount of research I felt that it was best that I find a place within a half-hour walk or so from work, due to all of the parking restrictions in London that make it really hard to drive into work. But unfortunately this did come at quite a fiscal cost, as the area that I work in is most certainly not cheap. Alongside this, I had quite specific criteria, as I wanted enough space to keep the YouTube channel going, so it honestly took me weeks, if not months, to find this place. So long story short, I got in touch with a couple of landlords and I actually went to see quite a few properties within the £600 to £700 per month range, but the rooms really weren't cutting it, so I thought I'd increase my budget slightly, and I actually found a room that really was perfect for what I needed, but more about that later. Now for the second part of this video, I wanted to touch upon quite an important subject for those that might be in a similar position to mine, and that is rejection. Unfortunately, it's quite common for landlords to look at people my age who may be 18, 19 or even 20 and automatically assume that they're going to trust the place and turn them away without much thought. And that's exactly what happened to me. I faced rejection after rejection, and a lot of the time people wouldn't even give me the time of day and would simply just ignore me. So my advice to anyone in a similar situation would be to, right off the bat, pick the phone up and offer to talk to the landlord on the phone and get talking, introduce yourself and build some sort of initial relationship with them, which will definitely help to build some trust and give them the peace of mind. And that's exactly what I did. I got on the phone with the landlord that I'm renting from now, and we got chatting. We even managed to have quite a positive conversation about football, and it really gave him that peace of mind that actually, regardless of my age, I'm not really going to be the sort of person to trust his property, and with that sort of trust we were able to come to a good agreement. Apart from that, there's also likely to be a financial issue when it comes to people in their teens trying to rent a property or even a room. In my case, I have no credit history or no proof of a substantial income over the last couple of months, purely because this is my first full-time job and I'm not even 18 yet, so there's no credit history there whatsoever, which meant that when the landlord put me through the referencing process, I failed the referencing. Luckily in my case, my landlord is very understanding and he's agreed to pause the whole referencing process until I actually turn 18 and until I have some sort of stable income. So that's just good luck on my side, and I wish that it was like this every time, but unfortunately it isn't. So for those that are struggling, it's good to have somebody that could be put down on the agreement as a guarantor or anything similar. But I'm not too sure about the letting side of the property business, and I'd recommend you just read into it online. But as I say, I just got lucky, and I'm very fortunate to be in the position whereby me and the landlord have a good relationship, and he has agreed to just pause that referencing process until I'm actually able to pass it. So for the final part of the video, I'd just like to say that after months and months of talking to many people and facing many issues, I've now been able to actually find myself a pretty nice and pretty big loft room with an ensuite in a house that I'm sharing with just the landlord himself. So essentially it's just the two of us in a 4 to 5 bedroom property, which means that I'm going to have plenty of space to record YouTube videos and actually a lot of peace, which will let me work and rest as much as I like. And I actually managed to negotiate the garage into the deal as well, which is where I'll be setting up my YouTube studio. So if you'd like to see that in the future, if you'd like to see the whole new setup, then please make sure to subscribe, as you won't want to miss out on it. Now I don't want to give away too much detail about the room itself and its price, because I'm planning to make a full video about it in the future. So as I've just mentioned, if you are interested in that, please subscribe. But for those of you that have stayed right up until the end, I'll show you a little sneak peek of the room itself and of the garage where I'll be setting up my YouTube studio. Guys, that's all for today. Please make sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and make sure to follow me on Instagram, because from next week onwards I'm going to be posting a lot more real estate content when I finally start my new job. So if that's of interest to you, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and of course I'll see you next time.